What's going on, moviegoers? If you're new to the channel, my name is Christian. Welcome to C-Real Productions. Kraven the Hunter. You guys, I just got home from experiencing Sony's latest Spider-Manless Spider-Man film, Kraven the Hunter. Now, I wanted to form my own opinion. I saw some of their early reactions, and I was like, okay, worst movie, okay. I was like, I got to see how bad this movie really is. And right off the bat, it's not as bad as some people are pointing it out to be. It's not. I enjoyed this movie more than Madam Web. I enjoyed this movie more than Morbius. I enjoyed this movie more than Venom the Third Carnage. I enjoyed this movie more than Venom the Last Dance. It's probably equally on par with the first Venom film. But that's not saying much. It's not. It's not. Now, the highlights of the movie, we're talking spoilers, you guys. I'm going to keep this brief. I don't really want to talk about this movie too much. I'm going to keep it brief. Some of the highlights that I enjoyed. I enjoyed Aaron Taylor Johnson. He was dope as Kraven. The action sequences were fun. They were energetic. They kept you like invested. So it was cool seeing him just jump from building to building, wrecking fools like left and right. That was dope. I enjoyed Russell Crowe as the dad. He demanded his presence was so powerful. It was so powerful. I really, really liked Russell Crowe. I mean, it's Russell Crowe. How could you not like Russell Crowe? The whole family dynamic between, Kraven, his brother, and the dad, I thought was really interesting. That whole aspect kind of really kept me invested in the movie. But other than that, you guys, everything was kind of lackluster. Honestly, the villains were lackluster. Oh my God, what's the chick's name? Eclipso, I don't know, I totally forgot her name. I didn't care for her backstory. I didn't care that she had this magic potion that, brought people back to life and, she serviced the plot just to bring Kraven back. I was like, you're kind of useless. We don't really need you in this movie. Other than that, the secondary villain, I thought was dumb. Like, his power set, I was like, who is this dude? I had no idea who this dude was. He'd count to 1, 2, and all of a sudden he'd be behind you. I was like, what? So is he like super quick? Is he super fast? Can he, teleport? Useless. The Rhino I thought was decent. I'll take this version of the Rhino over Paul Giamatti's Rhino all day of the week. And I love me some Paul Giamatti, you guys. Big fat liar all day. But boy, oh boy, I'll take this version over it. I had a better time with this version of the Rhino. I like that they incorporated it of how, it was a disease and he transformed. He met this, this doctor in New York City. They kept saying, oh, this doctor, New York. I was like, yes, I get it. Your Spider-Man lore reference, whatever. I thought it was cool. I thought, him transforming and, the backstory with it of how, it hurts him or whatever. He had this little backpack with a vial in it and, connected to his liver or whatever. I was like, okay, I buy it. I buy it, you guys. If this is the best iteration of the Rhino we can get, I'll take it over the mechanical Rhino any day of the week. You guys, there's not that much great things to say about this movie. The score was not memorable. The cinematography, I want to go into the filmmaking aspects of it all. It was all kind of bland. It was bland. The action sequences were fun, bloody violent. I definitely think that this film benefited being R-rated. I did. I was like, okay, it definitely helped the movie, especially with this action sequences. I thought, when Kraven was in full Kraven mode and he was just running fools down, he kept doing this whole full-on sprint. I was like, damn, man, he was quick. And he was like virtually unstoppable. Like, unstoppable. I was like, yo, how can Spider-Man, go up against this version of Kraven? He would get his ass whipped. I was like, how could this fool can get blown up with a rocket, get dropped from 100 feet? Like, I was like, how do you beat this dude? So, and the whole backstory of like him getting the power set, being attacked by this big ass, ginormous Mufasa, and the blood DNA getting dripped into his DNA. I was like, what the hell? It was so weird, but I was like, okay, if this is what you guys are going for, I'm buying it. If this is what you're selling, I'm buying it. And like I said, the whole, backstory of Eclipso, I think that's her name. Forgive me if I'm getting her name wrong. But I was like, just totally useless. And like, she was just there just to bring him back to life. And, she had her own business. And, everybody that was on the, the Hitman list, they were working together. I was like, I don't really care. Like, the only things that were really interesting to me was like the whole family dynamic between the brothers and the dad. Other than that, I thought it was eh, eh. Kraven fully becoming Kraven by letting his dad get killed by the bear at the end, I thought was brilliant. I was like, I like it. I'm sick and tired of these shows, these movies, really trying to make these villains heroes. Keep them what they are. They are villains for a reason. The Penguin did a phenomenal job with that shit. That's why he had to kill Vic at the end. Oh, it still pains me. But yeah, I like that part, you know, and he got the full suit at the end, you know, the backstory of that, you know, that line I thought was cool. His brother, the chameleon, you know, even just throughout the entire film, you know, this same brother from the Gladiator 2. I thought he was good. I sympathized for the brother. You know, he just never lived up to his dad's expectations. Ultimately, you know, he was a mistake, and you know that's the way his dad viewed him. Even set up, you know, Kraven. Even had his son, you know, kidnapped. He plotted that whole ending, you know. But him fully becoming Chameleon at the end was dope. Didn't expect that. Did not expect that whole reveal of him, you know, transforming into his brother, and then, you know, walking away, then seeing the actual look. I was like, oh, somebody read the source material. I was like, that was pretty badass. I really like that aspect. So I was like, oh man, I want to see more of the Chameleon. You know, is there room to grow with these characters? Absolutely. Will we see these characters eventually again? Probably not, you guys. I don't think Aaron Taylor Johnson's going to return anytime soon, especially if this movie is going to do terrible at the box office. I mean, it made, you know, less than Madam Web its Thursday opening week. I don't know. We don't know what's going to happen with Kraven the Hunter, you guys. So it's like we talk, why are we telling these stories? Why are these stories important if there's no big end game goal? You know, because these are Spider-Man villains. We want to see Spider-Man fight these villains. I want to see Spider-Man fight the Rhino. I want to see Spider-Man go up against, you know, the Chameleon. I want to see Spider-Man take on Kraven the Hunter. Like, who doesn't? You know, just to have them in their own, you know, I still want to see a different iteration of all of these characters that we've already introduced from Sony, you guys, because, you know, Tom Holland has so much more room to grow as a character. You know, this is just the beginning of Tom Holland's Spider-Man, and there's so many more great villains that they can do. Who knows what's going to happen, you guys. But Kraven the Hunter, you guys, not as bad as everybody thinks. I put it probably, it's a borderline tie with Venom right now. Borderline tie with the first Venom. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Did you guys see Kraven the Hunter? What are your thoughts? What are your opinions? Where do you place it in Sony's Spider-Manless universe? What were the highlights? What are some of the things that you didn't necessarily like? The ADR, you guys, I thought was absolutely atrocious. So bad. The ADR was terrible. Terrible. Again, just like in Madam Web, the ADR, they cannot get this ADR down, and it's so frustrating because it's so noticeably bad. It's terrible. Ugh. So frustrating. Visual effects, visual effects could have been better, but, you know, we all know these big blockbuster, you know, movies and studios, and they like to rush it out. Script was wonky. Action was cool. Characters were, you know, halfway decent. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. And, of course, thank you guys for taking time out of your day for watching Zero Productions. Peace.